Hey guys, it's Tamara Bennett. We're live with one of our Painters Clubhouse sisters, Miss Sara. Sara, if you will, tell us where you're from and kind of how you got started in the Painters Clubhouse.
I am actually from Springfield, Missouri originally, but we live in Republic, Missouri. And the way I got involved in the Painters Clubhouse is it kind of started as like a rabbit hole, I would say, because I was trying to learn Procreate and I ended up on your Procreate course.
Okay.
And then gradually, as I took that course, I learned something else. And then I ended up on where I was downloading your designs and stuff. And then I just gradually just kind of built into it.
So you learned a little bit about Procreate. Tell me more about that.
Well, the reason I wanted to is because I have a t-shirt shop. And so because I wanted to be able to design my own stuff. And so I was looking for a course and I just ended up finding yours. And so that's kind of how I figured it out.
And so you went from making t-shirts to now you're painting door hangers?
Yeah. So I still have a t-shirt shop and I do that very regularly. I stock a boutique here in town. We just have like a little town of like, I don't even know how many thousands, but we're just right outside of Springfield. And so we have this little boutique and it kind of started where I was just stocking that boutique with t-shirts. And then it gradually kind of now has grown into door signs. So
that is so cool. So you don't own this boutique, but you're like consigning your items in it. Do you get to pick the price of what they're going to be? How does that work?
Yeah, I pick all the price and she just has like maybe 10 or 12 vendors in there. And so we've all been in there since she started 4 years ago. So
that is so cool. You do pretty well with that?
I do. It's my, it was my best boutique. I tried to expand and then it got to be too many. And so then I just went back down to just one. So yeah.
What kind of door hangers would you say sell the best in a situation like that?
Well, I kind of have like different seasons. And so I have done like, we're big Chiefs fans. And so we have a lot of Kansas City stuff, but you have to be careful with what you put on those. And then just seasonal things like that. So,
yeah. So do you put a big variety in there or do you usually pick like a few set designs and then do multiples of those designs? Like,
no, I usually just do one or two of them and
just
then
whatever you're feeling.
Yeah.
And that gives people a big variety to choose from, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, well, that sounds really cool. So a lot of times people, when they're getting started painting, struggle with something. Is there anything that you have kind of like struggled through getting started or were you like a fish to water? Did you just take into this pretty easily?
I did not. I've never been a painter much. And so I always was a crafter. And so I always just did crafty things and never really because I never felt like my painting skills were there. Like I can't draw a person and I can't draw a face or anything like that. And so I was like, I realized though that you were like showing us ways we could do it by using templates. And so last October, I did your pumpkin one and you did it 3 ways and I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to. And so I participated every night and I watched everything and I did it and I was super excited. And so that's kind of where it's just kind of evolved over the last year. And so now I can just kind of take your templates and trace them. And I feel like from what you say on there, I get a good explanation. And so I feel a lot more confident than I used to.
So do you feel more like confident now to like make it your own and change up the colors or the patterns and kind of customize it a little bit?
No.
Not yet. Okay, you'll get there.
I pretty much follow what you're doing and stuff like that. I mean, occasionally I'll put a few little things extra into it, but like, I don't know. I just kind of, it gets set in my ways and then I just do it like that. And
I mean, I'll be honest. Sometimes I like to change things up, but if I'm going to a class where they're teaching something, I love to be the student. I love to follow along and try to stay with the instructor and do it just as they instruct, because even though I paint every day at home, I still can learn something from somebody else. And sometimes I learn a new way of doing something, or it will push me to like use paint colors that I normally don't use because that's what they're teaching with. And so I really love to do that. Yeah. So what is one item in your craft? Do you have a craft room in your craft room that you can't live without? Yeah, are
I'm
we
in
in a
it.
craft room? Because I love this whole like brick wall
Yeah,
behind you.
this is a corner of our craft room. And earlier this year, you showed your desk that you made.
Yes.
And so I told my husband, I said, I want to make something like that. I want to be able to stand, but I also want to be able to sit. And so, he helped me make a stand almost identical to yours. And so we just went out and did that. And then I was like, I really want a display area where I feel like I can display my stuff, take pictures, use it kind of as a backdrop and things like that. And so we designed this wall and just went to Lowe's and made it. And so this is kind of my area where I have all of my painting stuff. But if I were to turn the camera around, that is a mess.
Did you make your shirts in this room also?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have about 1,600 square feet in our basement. And when we bought this, we intentionally wanted to use it as like my workshop. And so we used this downstairs as our inventory room for all of our shirts. And then just all of my supplies, shipping area, things like that. My husband makes all of my wood decor out in the shop. We have a shop outside, and he does all the cutting of those and does all that. And then recently, earlier this spring, we bought a laser. And so we ended up putting our laser here in our house, but we can ventilate it outside. Mm-hmm. So he built the unit to do that. And then now he does all of my laser letters and, things like that. So I like to do letters or I like to do the laser letter wording on signs, because I don't feel like that's still one of those things where I feel like I'm not really good at writing words. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like I have really pretty handwriting, but then whenever I go to put it on a sign, I feel like it's really, I usually end up painting right back over it. And so I'm like, I don't like this. So I don't know. We just found where making the letters for me was better for me, I guess, in a sense. I know everybody can't always do that, but that's just kind of where we've built up to. So
yeah, I love that he's able to kind of help you with this. Is this your full-time job, the t-shirts and the door hangers?
Yeah.
And then does he have a job outside of this, or is this like a whole family?
Yeah, he is an IT person, and so he works in IT outside, but he's actually going to come with me to the Southern Adornment Live in the Smokies.
Awesome. I can't wait to meet you both.
Yeah.
That's going to be such a fun time.
Yeah. But
will this be your first live event, I guess? Because if you found me during the pumpkin project last year, we probably already had, or we're about to have last year's Southern Adornments Live.
Yeah. So I'm super excited. So
I am too. It's coming up. It's in like 1 month from this week.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
let's see. I was thinking of another question. What do you think is the key to enjoying the Painters Clubhouse, or your painting journey in general? Like, is there one thing that you found that has kind of helped you?
I think I love looking at all the pictures in Painters Clubhouse and seeing how encouraging people are, and just being in that environment, because I don't have like a ton of friends here that paint. And so that enjoy what I do. And so it's just fun to see all the different things that they're doing and the different ways that they can do it. And even more than just door hangers, other things that they're doing. So I enjoy seeing that in the Painters Clubhouse. So
are there any groups that you've been a part of before you joined the Clubhouse where you had that kind of community?
No. Yeah. No, I mean, I have my own group on Facebook and stuff, but it's just different because it's just it's just expanded out. And so it's not been something that has just been people from all over the country. So,
yeah. And your group on Facebook is for your business. So it's probably more customers than it is fellow crafters, right?
Right. And so I've thought about should I, create a new group where people are watching my crafts and I can video my crafts and things like that. I'd love to be able to do tutorials and things like that of how I did stuff, but I'm not brave enough to go live.
Hey, you're live with me right now. I mean, I think you would be great.
Live. This is the first time ever. And so I'm a little intimidated about going live. And so in person, it's great, but to the world, I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what I did way back in the day. I had been doing Facebook Live for about a year, and I was, and it wasn't consistent. It was one here and one there. And I would just have to really work up the courage to do that one every once in a while. And then about a year into it, I was like, okay, I got to get over this fear. I'm going to challenge myself to do 30 days of Facebook Lives. And every day without fail for 30 straight days, I did a Facebook Live. This was in 2017. Some days it was, this was when we had the big eclipse back in 2017, not the most recent, but the latest one. I did a live during the eclipse. I did a live while baking a cake in my kitchen. I did a live while prepping for a paint party. I mean, you name it. If I was doing something I thought people might find remotely interesting, I was going live each day. And it kind of just ripped the Band-Aid off and got me to get out of my self-consciousness and to just do it because it was like, I love to challenge myself. I'm a little bit competitive. And so it felt good to kind of like feel like I accomplished something. And at the end of that 30 days, the people who watched me regularly throughout those 30 days were like, we're going to miss you. Like the 30 days is over. I feel like this is a TV show I've been binge watching and now it's over. And so it really did something for me in that it got me out of my head and got me to really connect with people. But for the people who watched, it helped them get connected to me. And so then from then on, I was like, okay, I'm going to set myself a schedule and I'm going to go live every week on like, I don't remember when it was back then, but like Tuesdays and Fridays or whatever. And I think shortly after that was when I started doing the Friday Fab Fives. And so that really just unlocked everything for me and kind of got me out of my head about it. So
yeah, well,
I don't know. It might not be 30 days that you want to start with, but you could challenge yourself in some way.
Yeah, well, my sister-in-law has been really like, she's like, you really should do it. You should. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Let's see. So we'll see.
And I think it depends on what you're going to do. So I know you said you want to teach and stuff like that, but I think you could even do it while you're like prepping t-shirts that you know you're going to take to this local boutique and stuff and just talk about the prep process and maybe go live in the boutique showing off what's in there. You could really like serve the current people who are already your customers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll get better. I'm a little nervous about it. So
that's okay. Maybe you'll be ready before long.
Yeah, hopefully.
Let's see. What do you think is next for you? Like what goals do you have for like the next year? I know 2025 is not quite here yet, but have you started thinking about like what are your big goals for the next year?
Well, I'd like to do at least 3 door hangers a week that I can sell. And so I'm probably already doing close to that, but like, I just want to be able to sell that many. I want to be able to just kind of broaden that aspect of my business. And the other one, honestly, I thought about this goal. I was like, I really just want to go live. Like, I want to have the confidence to do that and not worry about like, do they really want to watch me? Because I mean, obviously they're watching me because we're on, you know? Right. So I don't know. That's kind of been my big goal is to try to increase my production of my door signs and do that. And then I would really like to be able to like have my husband cutting some of our things so that we can just get more of it done. So
that sounds like some really good goals. I forgot to say one other thing that helped me when I was trying to get started doing Facebook Live more regularly was having some kind of structure. So the fact that like Tuesdays were the day I would paint live, Friday was the day I would do Friday Fab Five. It kind of took the pressure off of not having to go live the other 5 days of the week. Because if you don't have a structure, then you're thinking, I should go live this week. And then you think of something that you might go live about, but then you talk yourself out of it. Yeah. But if you have like a set structure and plan, it kind of like holds you to, okay, I don't have to show up the other 5 days of the week, but if I just show up on this day or this day with this plan, it feels more doable. Yeah. So I think you could totally do that.
I'm going to try it. We'll see what happens.
Okay. I wanted to go back to when you were talking about like the part about painting and using templates. You said something about you were afraid you couldn't do this because did you think you would have to like be able to draw? Because one of the number one things I always hear is, I wish I, could do this, but I can't draw a stick figure.
Yeah. When I stumbled upon your templates and stuff and that it just had like the whole drawing out, I was like super excited. I remember calling my friend saying, we should do this. Like we should have a little paint party of our own and, just kind of do this and see how we go along. And I mean, I hadn't seen any of your videos of, like what you had it in the Painters Clubhouse and stuff. And so once I started seeing that and seeing like how good it was to be able to use those templates. I just never had thought about it, I guess, using a template. And so because you gave us those templates in different sizes and things, and then showed like what the finished product looked like and things like that, I was like, I might be able to actually do this. So, I mean, my one thing is I wanted to show my husband that I could paint after all, because a few times he was like, you cannot paint anything. Like, it doesn't look good.
Isn't it funny the things we do just to prove our husband's wrong?
And so finally now he's like, we are selling some of these, So, I mean, I don't know. I saw those templates, and that's kind of I would say last June is whenever I started buying some of your templates and just realizing that I could really do this. So,
yeah, I think the being able to draw part probably holds a lot of people back, because they think, number one, it's hard to draw the thing, but then it's also harder to draw it bigger on a certain scale. I can remember very clearly back before templates, having to draw things out, and I would use a pencil or a piece of chalk, and I would kind of sketch it out. But some of my door hanger designs would be like 24 inches. And then the next one that I created that was a different shape might be like 18 inches. And I'm like, well, I can't have customer number one having a huge door hanger and customer number two having a small one. It was really hard for me to like draw it to the appropriate scale. And so once templates once I figured out how to make templates, it really simplified that, because not only was it going to be to scale, but I knew that every customer at the paint party was going to have the same exact shape, same exact pattern. And so it really just made the whole thing a lot easier.
Now that you said paint parties, I actually thought about it a little bit more. And one of my other goals is that I would love to do some paint parties in our town. And so I've kind of looked at some areas of where, I could do a paint party with like 10 or 12 people and stuff. So I'm hoping to be able to do like a practice paint party with some of my friends and see how that goes. And then I've reached out to a couple of places where I've asked if, they might be interested in letting me do a paint party once a month or something. So that is another one of my goals in the next year or so.
Yeah, there's a lot of restaurants that are just dying to get people in, especially on certain nights of the week. So, if you reach out to a restaurant and they say, we really just, we're busy on the weekends. We don't say, okay, well, what's your slowest night? That might be like a Tuesday. And you'd say, okay, well, how about I just do this on Tuesdays? And it would be a way for you to bring people in regularly.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
Other groups that are really great to reach out to are like church groups, because a lot of times around the holidays, they're looking for people to come in and like teach a craft for like something to get fellowship with their members. Also, like schools usually have something for the staff or the teachers to get together and do something, or even office parties. So lots of different ideas there.
I felt like whenever I did join the Painters Clubhouse earlier this year, my husband and I were talking about it, because my husband and I talk about everything about business. And so I was like, even if and maybe you're going to get to this question, I don't know, but like, even if whenever I join the Painters Clubhouse and I see all of these past things that Tamara's done and all of the things she showed us to do, even if I just get that out of it, I felt like it was going to be worth it. And like the 2 designs a month that we get to do, and I felt like that was worth the money to do it. And so, when we were justifying if I should do the Painters Clubhouse or not, we were like, well, I mean, look at all these designs, and I don't have these designs. And like, then I can learn how to do it, because she's going to show me how to do it, and that'll just help me. And so that was really one of my incentives to join the Painters Clubhouse earlier this year, because I'd watched you, but I just hadn't joined it. And so I don't know, I just decided that I was like, I'm going to try this. Let's see how this goes. And so I'm very happy with it. So
I'm so glad you brought that up. Yeah, our library that we've been building over the last 6 years has over 100, maybe 150 plus tutorials and templates, and they're all by category. So if you know that the Christmas season's coming up, you could go to the Christmas category. If you join today, you could go in there today, download all the templates for all the Christmas ones, and just start painting and following tutorials. And even if you cancel next month, you get to keep those templates forever.
I mean, that was kind of what we said too. My husband was like, well, even if you just get all of those and then you decide you don't like to do it, at least you have those templates. And so I was like, well, let's see how it goes. So, yeah.
See, that's what we try to hook you in and be like, come download all these templates. You can cancel next month. But we know that once you get in there, you're also going to see what we're painting in November. And you're like, oh, I can't cancel. Look what she's painting in November. I don't want to miss out. And we try to keep them like really trendy.
Yeah, I get excited each month for that just because it's like, ooh, what are we going to do next? What are we going to do next? And so
it keeps it fresh and fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we also have guest instructors in the Painters Clubhouse. Is there any particular guest instructor or project over the last year that you really enjoyed?
I can't say that I have. Was there a guest instructor for the truck? Was it
Is it the truck with the interchangeables or one of the trucks from the rear? We have different. We have a bunch of trucks
from the rear. The one that was like that one. Did you get on live with someone else to do that truck?
There was one we did that was a 4th of July, and Erica Wallace taught it one way, and then I went live like a year later and taught it another way. So we actually have 2 tutorials for that one template.
Okay. Yeah, it would have been that one.
Yeah. Well, that's a good one. I really love how sometimes the guest instructors just come in and teach stuff in a little bit of a different way or teach a different technique.
Yeah.
Miss Cindy Manley teaches resin. Have you tried resin?
No. That's like, I feel like that's a whole nother rabbit hole. And if you go down that hole, so no, I haven't tried resin. So, but maybe I will sometime. So.
If I'm being honest, I haven't ever put it on like a full size door hanger. I've put it on like a 12-inch round type project, but mostly I've just done like the little ornaments or something like that and used it on smaller things.
Yeah.
So, but it is intimidating to work with, especially on a large scale project.
Yeah. And I don't feel like, I don't feel like I do a ton of little stuff like that, paintings yet. I just haven't yet. I just haven't gotten to that point. So maybe once I do some of that stuff, then maybe I will get to the resin part.
Yeah. And you're probably just, you're only a year in at this point. You've only been painting with me for about a year. You're probably still like constantly having door hanger ideas, and you haven't gotten, I'm not saying you'll ever get bored of door hangers, but it kind of takes time before you feel like you have the time to really venture out into all of the little things that you can do.
Well, there's just so many already in the vault, I guess is what you call it. And so it's like, I haven't ventured out on a whole bunch of doing my own designs and things. I've pretty much kind of stuck to what you have, but that's kind of the time that I have too. Having my business being partially t-shirts and then partially doing my door hangers. And then we take custom orders. And so because we take custom orders, that takes some of our time too, doing some custom signs. So
yeah. Well, that's great. I see a few commenters over here. We've got Linda and Margarita and Angela from the Clubhouse. I see Wanima loves Cindy's resin training. And Dee Dee said, I'm just joining in. There's so much stuff in Painters Clubhouse, I can't keep up. Yeah. She said, plus the bonus discounts make it worth the money, especially the Deco Art discount.
Yeah. I'm not on your template club yet, but I've been very tempted to go ahead and do that. So we'll see.
It would be a business write-off.
So yeah.
Yeah. Of course, the Painters Clubhouse is a business write-off too. Hopefully you're taking advantage of that tax situation. Yeah.
My original degree was accounting, so
all about that. You can probably give me advice on what I should be getting discounts.
So I was an accountant for 18 years before I went out on my own. So
that's so not creative too.
I know,
right? Total opposite side of the brain.
Yeah. So it just worked out, but yeah. So I left the corporate world about 3 years ago and started just doing all of my own t-shirts and my own business when it just kind of boomed. And so I went out on a limb and did it, and it's worked out well. So
what did other people in your life think when you did that, when you like left a stable corporate job to like start a t-shirt business? Were they supportive, or was it like, girl, you lost your mind? What happened here?
I actually have very supportive family. All of them have been right behind me and helping me. Sometimes they'll come over and help me do t-shirts and just things, because we had a big show the last 2 weekends in a row, festivals. And so they'll come over and help me do that. But no, they've all been very supportive of me. And honestly, my husband was probably the biggest pusher for me to decide to go completely into business for myself, because I was kind of doing it part-time on my own, and then I had a full-time job, and it just got to be where it was just like I was working nonstop. And
Yeah.
so he just was like, I just think we should do it. Let's just try it and see what happens. He's like, the worst thing we can do is not succeed. And he said, let's just try it and see what happens. And then we did. And then it's just kind of slowly evolved and just gotten into this. And I don't go a day where I don't have orders. So I feel like I stay very steady for a one-person business.
Yeah.
Or maybe a half if you include my husband. But yeah.
He's like, you better include me.
Yeah.
I love that you've got that support behind you. I know my husband has been, he was a little skeptical in the very beginning. He wasn't skeptical of like my ability to like paint and teach, but he was, back when it was just paint parties and I wasn't really online, he didn't see it as like a quote unquote real job, because it wasn't bringing in a steady set amount of income every month. One month would be fantastic and the next month might be a little slower. And it took a while before it really started to pick up steam. And he was like, okay, this is a legit business. Like, she's got a full-time income off of this. So
yeah. So it's been a good little adventure for me.
Wanima said, I'll just join the Clubhouse and I love it. I'm so excited to learn more. Welcome, Wanima. Angela said the Deco Art discount paid for my Painters Clubhouse this month using girl math. I love that. She said, I ordered $100 worth of paint for $50.
Nice.
We got to love that girl math. Okay. Well, I'm going to let you go, Sarah. Thank you for joining me today. I am going to stay on for a moment longer and tell a little more about the Clubhouse for those who maybe haven't heard of it before. But I appreciate you joining me and telling me a little bit about your life and your business. It's been, and I look forward to seeing you at Southern Adornments.
Yeah, you too. I'm super excited. So we'll see you then.
Bye, Sarah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, let me get my slides up here, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Painters Clubhouse if you don't know what it is. Inside the Clubhouse, we have an entire, like she was talking about, an entire library with over 150 different designs that you can choose from. And of course, you get instant access to all of those tutorials, to the templates. And so one of the questions everybody always asks is like, can I cancel at any time? Well, yes, you could sign up for, just this month, go in and try it out, download some templates, watch some tutorials. And then if you feel like for any reason it's not the right time for you, maybe you're, you hit a financial struggle or whatever, you can cancel at any time. And those templates are yours to keep. Now, the tutorials themselves, you won't have access to those after you cancel, but you can still continue painting with those templates. And if you aren't sure how to use templates or how to cut your own blanks, I want you to start with our beginner lessons, because there's videos showing you how to use the jigsaw, scroll saw, and all of that. We also have tons of guest artist tutorials. Those are really great because you're going to learn a lot of different techniques. Plus, we do a monthly spotlight on techniques. And so that might include things like how to do dry brushing, how to paint flowers, how to do staining, how to paint eyes and a carrot nose. That's the one that's coming out this month, and that's taught by one of our Clubhouse members, Pam Savage. We also do something fun called Zoom paint parties. So once a month, we'll all get together in Zoom. We'll chat about our week. We'll paint projects. We'll talk about our upcoming craft fairs or paint parties. And it really just gives us an opportunity to connect with other members. Plus, you're also going to get 20% off in our shop at shopdoorhangers.com. and currently 50% off at decoart.com. So I think the DecoArt discount thing is changing in the month of November. They let me know the other day that it's going to be tweaked a little bit, and they're going to have a new rewards program. So it might not be 50% off in November, but it's going to be something else instead. And then also we give you 2 new tutorials every single month with techniques. So just like Sarah was saying, every month you're going to be like, oh my goodness, I can't wait for that next one. So here in a moment, I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to be painting next month, so that you've got something to look forward to. But if you join today, we've got 2 more days left till we close the doors. So we close the doors on Saturday, October 12th. But if you sign up between now and then, you're going to get 2 really great bonus freebies. Number 1 is this wood letter workshop. I went to the Hobby Lobby, picked up these wood letters, and showed you 3 different ways that you could paint these. These are perfect for teaching these techniques at paint parties, or giving these items as gifts at Christmas, because it feels like a really personalized gift. And you can kind of customize the letter, you can customize the colors or the pattern to the person that you're giving it to. And this is a free workshop that you can go in and watch after you sign up. And then, of course, we're going to send you our welcome kit with some little bonus items in it, including this 3D window snowman ornament that you can paint, some paint palette earrings. I've got mine sitting over here to the side. I painted them. I added some paint using, what do you call that? Puff paint to make them three-dimensional. And then I added resin on top to make them really hold up and last a long time. You're also going to get some brushes and a cute little ink pen that looks like a paintbrush and a Painters Clubhouse sticker. So this is our free gift to you if you sign up between now and Saturday at midnight. Let me know if you guys have any questions about the Painters Clubhouse. I'll be glad to stay on for a few moments and answer those. But I wanted to also give you a peek at some things we've done in the past. Remember how Sarah mentioned that library? Here's a few items that are in that library that you could paint right now for the current season, for like fall, Halloween, Christmas, stuff like that. There's a turkey, a mum, the boo babe, the thankful leaf. We've also got a snowman that says snow place like home, the nutcracker, the reindeer with glasses, and retro ornaments. Now, this is just a small sampling. There are tens of hundreds more than this, not in every category, but I would say there's probably at least 20 different designs in the Christmas category alone that you could go browse through, and probably at least that many or more in the fall category. So go check it out. And then coming up next week, Maria Martinez is going to be teaching this poinsettia pocket design. She's got a really great denim painting technique that she's going to teach on the pocket part. And then, of course, you'll learn how to do shading on those petals of the poinsettia. And then in November, Lauren Martin and I are going to be going live together and teaching this North Pole Cookie Co. design. The letters to the word cookie and then the cookies themselves are three-dimensional pieces. And then we're going to be teaching how to use spackle on top of the cookies to make it look like real icing. And then on top of the icing, we're going to put some fake sprinkles that we picked up at Hobby Lobby. So this is going to be such a cute project that I can't wait to start. And then also our guest in November is Melissa Howington. She's going to be teaching this beautiful nutcracker design. And so we've got a lot of really great things to look forward to, and we would love to welcome you into the Painters Clubhouse. We have live events that we do once a year, and our closest live event is the one that's happening next month, Southern Adornments Live in the Great Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. Now, that's not just for Painters Clubhouse members. We have people from all over come and join us for that event. And we'll be selling virtual tickets to that event starting next week on Tuesday. So you can look forward to that. All right, that's all I got for you right now. I will be live again tomorrow to add some names to our member wall. So be sure and sign up, and I'll add your name tomorrow. And if you have any questions about the Painters Clubhouse, drop them in the comments or DM me or something. Wanima says, can you order the letters for that November door hanger? Wanima, I believe we will have a companion pack for you guys to do that. So I believe you'll be able to get those through the companion pack, unless you're asking if you can get just the letters. And that may be possible. We'll look in to see about setting that up for you. I'm glad you brought that up. All right, y'all. Have a great afternoon. I'll see you next time. Bye.